Dessie, I suppose you were looking for a response this afternoon after last week's nightmare in Castlebar. You just give that response today.
Yeah, we probably just had to revisit where we went wrong against Mayo. Like we knew we didn't play up to scratch, so we knew we needed a good team performance, and I think we got a team performance there today, and it was good. It was good to see that.
First half, 4 points apiece. Scores were few and far between. You built up kind of a wall to stop Donegal from getting at you, but they never really tried to penetrate you. So they were happy enough to keep passing the ball over and back.
Yeah, I suppose it was a bit like a game of chess. So as you make your first move and then we make a move, but we knew like the way Donegal set up, they do come in their droves, and at times it does be hard to stop it. So probably we need to come up with a different system today to try and altercate that. And lucky enough, it worked us to an extent. I know we wanted to see out the first half and see where we were then, and then we assessed the situation. And lucky enough, we come out the second half, and we set up kind of the same system there. But lucky enough, it worked out for us.
Discipline, I suppose, let you down last week. Much more disciplined performance this afternoon, of course. Unfortunately, Connor received the black card, but overall, a much improved performance.
Yeah, listen, you're playing at a higher standard. Probably the pace of the game is very fast in Division 1. And boys have to learn, and have to learn quick.
Was last week a big learning curve?
I'd say it was a massive learning curve, especially to the new players that came in on the scene against Mayo. They learned, boys from last week. If things aren't going away, you have to keep your head and you have to keep things going. When Michael Murphy got that goal, things could have went different, but lucky enough, boys learned from last week. You have to keep your head, and it was good to see that in a good team.
It was their last score that Donegal hit, and it was their only score from play this afternoon. Was that goal, but you responded with them 4 points, and you have to be pretty happy. The 11th minute of the second half was their last score of the game.
Yeah, again, they got that goal, but it's good to see the boys didn't panic. Everybody put in a good team performance right from the back line up to the forward line. That wasn't an easy game there today. It took the 18, 19 men, 20 men, boys come off the benches just to work serious hard, and that's what Malachy wants. Just boys being honest and be able to work hard for the team, and that's what we want, a good team performance.
Well, the big Ulster derby next week, of course, and it's back to Clonus though.
Yeah, it's back to Clonus, and it's nice to get back into Clonus now. So it is. Clonus has always been good, but again, everybody's scrambling for points, and there's going to be no more easy games. It's another Ulster derby. Ulster derbies, every team knows each other inside out. We'll get back to training Tuesday night, and we'll see how we go at it.
Enjoy this and prepare for next week. Well done again, Dessie.
Okay, thanks very much.
Malachy, much happier this afternoon?
There's no doubt. Just last week, we were just below par, and we didn't perform well. And I suppose then, with when we got the men sent off and one thing and another, it wasn't our day. And that was the one big thing we wanted. There's no guarantee of coming here and winning today, but we wanted to make sure that we battled really hard and we dug in and we showed that bit of character to bounce back. And the boys showed it in spades like they've done so many times before, and just delayed to get the victory.
That hurt last week, I'm sure, that defeat, and with the boys not performing, they knew it themselves, so that a mission coming here.
Yeah, well, that's it, and just I said we just felt we didn't play well. We just hadn't the urgency, the intensity in our play that we've had often in the past, and that was the first thing we had to correct. Because if you don't have that, then you can play any system, you can do anything you want, and you're not going to have success. So that was the thing we wanted to get more than anything else, was just to work really hard to try to outwork the opposition over the field in as many positions as we could, and that's not always easy done. But I think as the game went on, I thought even the subs were introduced and everybody else really put in a big shift and helped us get over the line.
You talked about a system and you talked about work. They had to do all of that there, in particular in the first half, but you come with a system and it worked the key.
Yeah, well, that's it. And Donegal are very hard to play against, and they're very patient, and I suppose people sometimes are telling us put more men up the field and so on. But if you do that, it just leaves it open, it leaves gaps behind, and they'll exploit it. So it was just a case of being very patient, not leaving any gaps for them to exploit. And then when we get the ball, to try and use it well and so on. So it's very much a game of cat and mouse. It's not that pretty to watch at times, but you just have to try and do what you can to win the game, and we're just delighted that we did that.
When you're playing that way, you have to be very disciplined, and I suppose after last week, the boys knew they had to be disciplined, and they were this afternoon.
No, and that's it. It's about having a hard edge to your game and bringing that intensity to it. But once the discipline goes and once you go over that line, well, then you're asking for trouble, and you're not going to win too many games. So no, that was a big improvement today, and and again over over the last couple of years, our discipline is very, very good, and so we took a bit of flack from that last week, and I suppose the pundits and everything else, there's other teams maybe would do the same and they don't get as much flack. So it was a wee bit harsh on the boys, but listen, we'll try to learn a lesson from it, and hopefully it'll help us going forward.
You firmly answered the critics this afternoon. If they did maybe go through that performance last week with a fine comb, they can go through this one and there'll be more positives out of that.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that's it, and that's football. And I said that the first night that we beat Tyrone, and you can get carried away very easily in football, and then you get a bump very quick after that. So no, it's just about sort of keeping the head all the time. We were disappointed after Cork. Then we felt we should have got something out of the game. We were poor last week. We came here determined to get 2 points today. We've got it. We've got 4 points at the minute, the same as a lot of other teams. So it's up now to make sure that we just keep the heads and try and get a big performance next week again.
Kieran Duffy didn't feature this afternoon. He was replaced, of course, by Conor McManus, so that was a positive to have Conor back. But I suppose just firstly on Kieran, before we talk about Conor, Kieran, how bad is it?
We'd be hoping that Kieran maybe he'll hopefully be back training this week, so it's not really severe, So and Conor, we're just more or less forcing him in as well. He's probably not right at the minute either, but and maybe it probably worked out well in the long run, in that he had to come off after whatever it was, 10 or 15 minutes, and he didn't have to do any more, and we were able to win without him. So that one probably worked out well overall.
I know you don't like talking about black cards and decisions, but I suppose Conor's black card, when you've seen some of the other Donegal incidents where they were showing yellow cards, it does ask questions of this black card.
That's right. You wonder, sometimes you wonder what's going on here, and a lot of inconsistency. And I thought even early on, Donegal got a lot of easy enough frees. But listen, I suppose you always sort of bias towards your own team, and we'll just take it and we'll move on. Exactly.
Just looking back on the victory, 4 points each at half time. I suppose possession-wise, Donegal, of course, had more possession in the first half, but all of Donegal's 4 points had come from frees. You had to be pretty happy at half-time to be just going in level pegging, and I'm sure you said to the boys, this game's here for us.
Yeah, we knew that, and we knew we were getting to grips with the system. They were playing a wee bit better as the game went on, and we knew we were facing a strong win in the second half, but we just wanted to get more energy into our play, and we felt if we did that and we used the ball better, and we just that belief in ourselves, but matched it with a really high work rate, we wouldn't be far away, and that's how it turned out.
Killer blow, Michael Murphy's goal. It was to be Donegal's only score in the second half, 11 minutes into that second half, but if anything, you asked for a response, the boys give that.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I know, because that it could have been a goal that really sort of knocked us back. But in fairness to the boys, it showed great mental strength to bounce back from that and to come back strong and get level and then go on and win the game. So no, there's a lot of positives out of it. But again, we just have to keep the heads and try to get focused again on next week.
Tight games like that, experienced heads, no better than Paul Finlay.
No, that's right. Paul got on a lot of ball, used it well. His free taking was very good, and all the experienced fellas did a great job there. The boys at the back, Vinny and Dessie and the lads, but just in general, the younger fellas who came on too. No, listen, just delighted to get the 2 points out of it, and we'll take it for the day. 2
wins, 2 Ulster derbies. What's up next? Another Ulster derby next Sunday.
And that's right. And Derry haven't been that far away in a lot of the games, and they'll be seeing it. Maybe I don't know how they did today, but they'll be seeing it as their last chance to get a couple of points to maybe make sure that they don't get relegated. So it's going to be a serious battle again, and we just have to get ready for it.
Back to the training board again on Tuesday, but a happier training session this Tuesday.
Well, that's it. We're just disappointed, as I say, with last week, but the boys worked hard and training as you'd expect, and it's just about keeping the head down and working and making sure we get a good performance again next week.
Just finally, Malachy, before I do let you go, you'll finally get to that dressing room, but just on the other injuries, we've talked about Conor, we've spoke about Kieran Duffy, Darren Hughes was back there today, played the full game, but Owen Lennon and different players like that there, any sign of them coming back soon?
Most of the boys are back training. Chrissy McGuinness, unfortunately, Chrissy actually had to get his appendix out at the end of the week, and he's in hospital at the minute, so that'll knock him back a bit. He was on the verge, or next few weeks nearly getting back to playing. The longer term injuries, Walshy, hopefully over the next few weeks he'll get more into full training. Owen and them, so they're all coming back. But that's what I was saying before. I was just looking at during the week. I think maybe we've 9 or 10 lads missing today who would have all been starters or in different games last year. So there's a lot of players to try to make up for. But just delighted that we were able to do it today.